guys, it's Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. Lately, I have been purchasing some makeup, and I'm gonna say most of it's from the drugstore, but I feel like if I'm gonna show it on camera to you guys, I need to come up with some kind of like review later after I've used it for a while. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna show you some of the things that I bought. Some of it you've seen. I think I've shown you some of them. I have not. But I'm gonna kind of do like a flyby review. I don't really know what I'm gonna call this. I'm just gonna kind of talk about each one for a short amount of time and let you know what my thoughts are having used it for the time that I have. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with some foundations. I have two foundations here that I have tried. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear, and this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy. So let's go ahead and start with this one. Okay, so the moral of the story is I hate this. I feel like it gives good coverage, but it settles into the pores that I have on my cheeks, and it comes off during the day. It doesn't do well on my nose, and I don't like the way this looks. I've given this so much love. I've tried it with a couple of other primers. I've tried it, you know, make sure I moisturize, add a little bit of moisturizer into this. It did not work, and I did not like it. Also, for the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, this I've only worn a few times, and I can say that for the most part, overall, I do like this. I think that for a dewy foundation, it has pretty good wear time. I'm actually wearing it on my face today, and it's all right. For $5, I can't really complain a whole lot. I can tell you though that it settles into the fine lines here on my forehead, which I've rarely ever noticed that with a foundation, and yet this one does it. It also kind of breaks down on my nose thanks to the dry patches that I've got on my nose. However, for the price, I do like it. Now, if I was told that this was a high-end foundation, I would be livid because I would be like, this needs to perform better. But now that I know that it only costs $5, I'm okay with it. Isn't that funny, the way that pricing for makeup makes us feel about its performance? So this wasn't a yes or a no. This was kind of just in the middle of the road for me. It's nice. It's just not my favorite. I mean, come on. What are we looking for when we're trying new foundations though? Aren't we looking for perfection in a foundation on our skin? Isn't that what we're all striving to do when we all have all these foundations we've tried in our lives? We haven't gotten there yet. This is a Maybelline, I don't know what the name of this line is. This is Nude Embrace. It's a matte color. It's what I'm wearing on my lips today. I love Maybelline lipsticks. I think that they are some of the best out there on the market. And I was looking for a nude with a yellow or brown undertone, and I found it in this. I also have another shade, but it's not in here. It must be in my purse. But I'm really impressed with these. I really like them. The wear time is not like super long, but I mean, it's a lipstick. I don't really expect a bullet lipstick to last very long anyway. Okay, so this is the Milani Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush in Nude Flush. I am a beginner when it comes to cream products. I've never used a cream blush before. And so I was kind of like disappointed that this didn't last on my face all day. I don't know what I was expecting, but it didn't last on my face all day. I would say I got like a good 4 hours of wear out of this. Now this is including, you know, touching my face, maybe taking a nap, and of course hugging my baby. But this shade here, I just really like it. It is soft pink, don't get me wrong there, but it's also just this, like it's got a brownish undertone to it. And I find that I gravitate towards browner undertones in my makeup lately. I feel like it flatters my skin. Don't get me wrong, I wear pinky, peachy things, but I feel like I just really love a good, like, it still needs to have pink in it, but it needs to have a brown undertone with my cheek products. I am really impressed with this. This is newer to the drugstore, so if you were wondering, should I get it? I like it. Now, comparing this to the Glossier Cloud Paint, because I did get a sample of those when I ordered from Glossier last time. I think the Glossier Cloud Paint is a bit more tacky. It's not as emollient as this. It's more opaque than this. As far as wear time is concerned, I think the Glossier Cloud Paints last a little longer. But for a drugstore cheek product, this is pretty good. Granted, though, I haven't tried anything else as far as blushes are concerned. But I would recommend these if you're looking for a drugstore cheek product, because I think I heard that the Flower Beauty balm that go on your face are going out of, like, they're being discontinued is what I mean. I don't know, don't quote me on that, that's just what I've heard. I can tell you this is not an exact dupe, but I do like this. Okay, so I have my liquid, it's a cream. My cream highlighter from ColourPop. It's a light stick in the shade Star Bright. I really like this. Now, keep in mind that I've never tried a cream highlighter before, but I really, really like this. This is so pretty. However, when you sheer it out on the face, like I'm just trying to look, you get this, can you see that? You get this like more cooler tone in this shade than I expected, because when you look at it, it's very gold. But when you sheer it out on the face, because I'm wearing it today, it's got this like cooler toned, glittery, like silver thing going on. And I think it's beautiful. But keep in mind, if you're just looking at it from the tube, it is not going to be true to color on the face. However, I still think that it's gorgeous. And the performance time is unreal. Like, I expected that this, like the cream blush, was not going to last all day. I was wrong. So what I would notice is I would have, like, all my cheek product would be gone, but my highlighter would still remain. So I really like this. I think this is great. I don't swipe it on my face. I tap it in with my fingers mostly, or I might like pat it out with a sponge. I recently purchased the Benefit Boing Industrial Strength Concealer in the shade 1. So if you can tell on my face, I have acne scars. Now, this, I did my makeup, I'm trying out that Wet n Wild foundation, so I didn't put this on today, and you can tell that it did not cover these up. So if I go in with it, that's the shade there. I think this is a good job of covering up my acne. Some days, if I'm just running errands, I will only put this on my face and call it a day. And it's great. Now, does it last all day? No. I don't really... So here's the thing. I have really dry skin. So when I'm looking for foundations and products, I need them to be a little more moisturizing. That being said, that means that my foundation is not going to last all day. And I'm also touching my face here, and it would have to be ill-purposed for my skin for it to last all day long. But this does do a good job of covering it up. Now, what I've noticed is when I've gone in, I've put this on, and then I've put foundation on, once I get my like blush and my cheek products on, all of a sudden you can see these acne scars again because I've added color back into the face. So what I've done is I've covered up the redness, and then I've put red right back in there, which just accentuates it further. That is not the fault of my base. I think that's just the way color is gonna work. Would I consider this for somebody who wants to cover up acne scars? Yes. Would I recommend it to go underneath your under eye? Probably not. So this is pretty emollient right now because I've had my hand in it. But because of the way that this is made, you have to kind of warm it up first. So once you put it on your face, it's gonna set, and then you're gonna probably have creasing, and it's just not, it does do a good job for my under eye like circles, which I can tell right now I didn't use it under my under eye circles today. But if I were to put it near my creases, it would crease like nobody's business. But I don't think that's what this was intended for, if that makes any sense. So would I recommend this to you? I think that depends on what you want it to do. If you want it to work like a liquid concealer, that's not how this is gonna work on you. If you want it to cover up like scars and tattoos, yes, I would recommend this to you. Does that make sense? All right, the last thing that I have is eye product. No, it's not the last thing that I have. I'll just tell you this. I went on Shop Miss A and I bought a few things because I needed some. I bought some brushes, Most of them are okay. One of them completely fell apart. It was like a really fine pencil brush, like really thin. And I pulled it to clean it and it all came out. The rest of these have been great. I did buy 2 of the Paw Paw sponges. This one is dirty because I used it today. And I just cleaned them. This, I can say, is the best makeup sponge that I have ever used. I have used Beauty Blender, L'Oreal, Flower, EOS, and Real Techniques. And this was like, what are these, $1, $2? It is so squishy. I don't like mine to be stiff. I like to have a lot of bounce, and this is so soft and squishy. And when I went the last few times that I have gone so far to wash it, I've been using this for a week now, so it's been washed several times. It's holding up. Now, I had an EOS sponge that I tried to use, and it just fell right apart. This, though, these are great. If they're not out of stock, because a lot of their things sometimes go out of stock, I will definitely recommend this to you. And I will link this down in the description box below, because for such a cheap product, it outperforms a $20 beauty blender that I owned at one time. I also, besides, I don't want to show you the brushes because they're dirty. I did get a couple of cream eyeshadows. If you don't set this with like a glitter glue or something, this is gonna crease because it's cream. These were, I think, $1 a piece. And I think I heard Amanda Z talk about these, but these are so creamy and so lovely. That was the shade Lucky Star. So there's purple right there. And this is the shade Holiday, which is like a taupe. For what you're paying, you are getting so much bang for your buck. I really like these. Now, these are different from the ColourPop Super Shock shadows that I bought. I bought another one. So I have the shade I Heart This. I'm just gonna swatch these for you because everybody loves swatches, right? Isn't that like the best part? I Heart This. I think that was good. Okay, so yeah. And then that's a Ultra Glitter. This is Lala. Let's put that there. Wow, those are kind of pretty close. Lala and Holiday are... That's weird because they don't kind of... I guess this is more brassy and this is more orange. So this is Ritz. This is really glittery. Ritz is really, really glittery there. You can tell what kind of shades I like in eyeshadows. And then this last one I got this one in person. They don't sell Super Shock shadows at my Ulta. I have a small Ulta. But I saw this in person and I was like, I have to have it. This is the shade Lightning Bug. I've got to see where I'm going with this. And this is also an Ultra Glitter. They're not exactly made the same. I think that honestly Super Shocks they're a cream formula, but they're just a little bit different. I think wear time on them, the Super Shocks last a lot longer than these do. You can't beat that price. So I think these are a sleeper hit that people haven't been too aware of. So shop Miss A for those. I'm in love with the Super Shock formula. Those are a big hit for me. Also, these are newer. These are the e.l.f. bite-size palettes. I have the shades Cream and Sugar, Truffles, and Rosewater. These are the only shades that they sell in my entire town. I live in a small town, what can I say? So what I ended up doing was I like these so much that I ended up buying a couple more from Ulta because they don't have them in my Ulta, they only have them online. So I bought 2 more and they're on the way. But so far, can I tell you, $3 a piece and I am blown away. Honestly, if I'm going to use one of these two, truffle or cream and sugar, I've got to use them together. Because if you'll notice, cream and sugar doesn't really have a transition shade. This is a lid setter for me. It is not a transition shade. And truffles doesn't really have, only has one shimmer. So you can combine these and you can get a great look out of it. These do remind me of the Natasha Denona minis. I've never tried those, but they are giving me these Color Story vibes. And I can tell you that the mattes, I mean, they're not the best mattes I've ever used, but these shimmers are so gorgeous. Here in the shade Truffles, there's this like taupey shade that I am living for. It's so like cool toned and gray. And then on the shades, what did I say? Cream and Sugar. These pack so much punch for something so small, bite-sized, and so affordable. If you've got like tweens just getting into makeup and you don't want to buy them expensive things, but you want them to have good quality stuff to use, I would look into these because these are great. Okay, so the last thing that I am going to talk about is like palettes and things that I bought. So let's start with the newer one to me is it's new to me. Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions. Okay, so here's the deal. I was low-key obsessed with this for a very long time. It had been in my Sephora Loves list for over a year. Like I want to say 2 years, but I was on a no-buy last year. So I was at Sephora and they had one Natasha Denona mini nude left, and they had this one. And with my budget, I could only get one. Now, it has been out of stock on Sephora's website for so long. I thought, oh, if they're discontinuing that, I don't want to buy it because I can't show it on my channel. Plus, I had just found this one. So I kind of felt like it would be redundant. I have been in search of an orange eyeshadow palette that met my needs for so long. I didn't care if it had more than just orange shades in it. I just wanted a lighter orange and lighter washes of color that weren't too Cheeto. So, you know, the Orangey Glad palette from ColourPop I felt was too bright. It was too Cheeto. That wasn't what I was looking for. And other palettes would have the mattes I wanted, but they wouldn't have the shimmers. I went and I searched for this. I finally swatched it. I've swatched it before, but I swatched it in the store. I can tell you this shade right here is what I was looking for. This is, it's kind of like a burnt orange, but a light burnt orange. I can tell you though that a lot of the photos I saw online of this palette looked different because this shade right here, this is yellow. And on Sephora's website, this doesn't look yellow. I think I'm gonna do a video on that, on how, you know, promotional pictures and this palette were different. Anyway, this is me in an eyeshadow palette, you guys. Orange is probably my least favorite color on the planet, but it is my favorite color on myself. It is so flattering with my skin tone. I don't know why, but I love orange. And I've wanted an all orange palette for as long as I can remember. What do I think about the quality? I like the mattes. The shimmers are pretty good. However, here's the thing. When I've put down a glitter glue like I do with all my shimmers, and what I've noticed with this palette, and tell me if you've noticed this too about Huda shadows, because this is the first time I've used Huda. I had creasing. I never have creasing, ever, with a dry shimmer. And I had creasing with this. And I thought, for the price I'm paying, I should not have creasing. So what I ended up doing, just to see if it was a color match, was I went in with my ColourPop shade in Lightning Bug. And I thought, will this fix it? And it did. Because almost identical. I think that the ColourPop shadow packs more punch. But these are, if you're looking to get this shade. Now these don't look the same in the pan, but they're pretty good dupes. And guess what? ColourPop did not crease on me, and Huda did. Now that I know that about these shades, I can be aware. However, I can't ignore the fact that ColourPop can dupe that and the shimmers perform better. For something so hyped up and a company that is pretty pricey, this should not be happening. That's my point. So if that's gonna turn you off completely from Huda shadows, I would steer clear. And I'm saving these two for last because I'm kind of gonna compare them. I bought the Going Coconuts palette from Color, and I wasn't impressed with the shimmers. The mattes are nice. They do have a lot of kick up, and I didn't expect that because I thought ColourPop shadows are really, really well loved here on YouTube. But as far as these shimmers go, I was let down. Palm Reader is like super chalky, which a lot of white shadows I've kind of found out like that are shimmery like this. If it's not just a satin, they're gonna be chalky. But I was really disappointed with Cocoa Crush as far as just the way that it worked. Now, I will tell you this though, the longer I let this palette just kind of sit where it is, the more like creamy these shimmers get, which is pretty good. Something that I want to show you. Okay, see how flaky those are? They're coming right off of my hand. I don't like that. I don't like that in a shimmer where I want it to be creamy and smooth. So I had this, and had I made this connection before today, I wouldn't have bought this palette. Not because it's not good, but because I bought the Dominique Latte 2 palette when it came out, and if you cover up these three shades right here, you kind of have the same palette. Look at the similarities there. This is the same freaking palette. I'm gonna swatch these shimmers, and they're not exactly the same. They're similar, but they're not the same. Because I'm wearing this on my eyes today, the Dominique palette. Because you've got a gold that the coconut is missing, but then you have this darker shade here, and you have this lighter shade here. Now, are they exactly the same? No. Are they dupes? No. So what's my point? My point is that they are so similar to one another that in my collection, this is kind of redundant. Do you get what I'm saying? As much as I didn't like these shimmers because they're kind of powdery, they're not as scratchy as, like you can see that. They're not as scratchy as the Dominique powders, or shimmers rather. But I feel like the Dominique mattes have a lot more wear time, and they are a lot more creamy than the Going Coconuts palette. I think this is growing on me. The more I use it, the more I like it. It wasn't a good first impression, but now that I am using it more, it's kind of growing on me. I like it more. I can see myself traveling with this. And for $12, come on. I mean, this was $42. I don't think this was worth the $42 price tag. This, probably worth the $12 price tag. Used this for a while. I said in my comparison video that I thought the original one was better, and I stand by that. I think there's glitter in here that they're not specifying. I don't want to make any waves, but there are glitter particles in these shimmers, which make them kind of scratchy, but it's not deemed not eye safe, and I emailed the company and asked them about it, and I never heard back. So please be aware of that if you're using, especially the shade Frappe. There are tiny sparkle particles in here. Those were my flyby reviews on all the makeup that I have purchased in the last couple months. I don't think I see myself doing this like monthly thing. I don't want to put myself in a box where I have to buy makeup so I can make a video. If I happen to have enough new products to talk to you about and show you and all that business, then I'll do it. I will go ahead and link as much of this in the description box as I can. I don't see why I can't. So if you like this video and you want to see more of these kind of reviews from me, give it a thumbs up so I know you want to. Go ahead and subscribe before you leave. Stick around, see what other videos I have for your YouTube entertainment pleasure. Be kind to yourself out there, folks, and I will catch you later.